Hi everyone, welcome back. Welcome back to me creating some things for a Facebook group swap I will be participating in for October. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I am going to tell you right now I am in a crafters block. I have crafter creator block. Usually what I do to get out of that is watch a few YouTube videos, and usually some wonderful crafty lady gives me inspiration. That has not happened. So I know that it's more than just a crafter's block. It's a mental life is going too crazy right now for me, and it's just bananas. So I'm going to try my best to just work through it, because that's a good motto to have in my opinion. Work through, work through, work through. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be creating some note cards. It's all Halloween themed, and as I told you before, I don't have a lot of Halloween. I didn't have a lot of Halloween papers. I think I got a great deal in the Halloween themed D-stash. And so this is the paper we're going to be using, which is Michael's Recollections brand, Raven's Head Manor. And this is 6x6. And what I have done, I've already pulled out the paper. You see my handy dandy We Are Memory Keepers trim and scoreboard. Now, you know, we all have kind of like a love-hate relationship with this. Someone did leave a comment in the comment section saying, giving me a better tip on how to use it, so I'm going to try that. But I pulled out these three right here. I'm supposed to do 3 journaling cards and 1 note card, and I've been asking the wizard, you know, the definition of what a note card is and what a journaling card is. And so in my head I was kind of right. Well, I was right, but I just was a little bit confused with the execution, I guess you could say, how I was going to actually complete it. So what I'm going to do is I'm supposed to make 1 note card. So what I have decided to do is just take this really cute paper, and I am going to make it 3x5. Since this is 6x6, what I'm going to do is cut this down. And what I was told is if I start in the middle and go up and down, it should work better. So let's get it together first. I'm going to do 5. I'm going to start in the middle, and I'm applying pressure and up and back down, and then I'm going to do 3. And so it does cut a lot better, so thank you so much for that tip. I really appreciate that. And now I'm going to do 3. I also think that the thicker the quality of paper, the thicker the paper, sometimes you may get a better cut as well. So since I cut up 2 sheets of paper, what I am going to do is now you all saw me cut this, right? And it's crooked. It is crooked. It's okay. I'm going to ink the edges up. I have this Bingo marker, Dauber, and it's orange, so I think that will go great with this paper. It is orange in nature. In my opinion, it's gold. Gold is orange if you break down the colors, basically, right? I've told a few of you before, I'm not big into distressing paper and things like that, but it does give it a more finished and a more polished look. So that's why I have adopted it. And not only that, I have all these things that I've been experimenting with. Like, who would have thought to use a Bingo Dauber? And if someone used it before I showed you all, I've never seen that person use it. This is so pretty. This would be nice for just a plain journaling card. And so while I'm talking to you all, I'm not sure. Yes, I'm going to probably post this video up before I send out the package, because you will not see everything that I create. But what I want to discuss with you is a bag, a box. I have a tote. My tote is a probably 15 by 8. It's like a file box, but that's what I'm going to move into And by moving to, I mean that's what I'm going to put all of my crafting stuff in. And that's all I will have. Can you believe that? That's all I'm going to have to craft with. So now since this is 5, I'm going to score this with this Fiskars score. And I'm going to do 2.5 because 5 divided into 2 is 2.5, and I don't want to cut it. You saw that I was about to cut it. I'm going to use a small tip, and I'm going to score it right there. I shouldn't have scored it there. I should have scored it at the 2.5 mark from there. Whenever you are scoring, I've told you this before, be careful when you score your papers. You do not see, and it's off. It's off. Why is it off? I don't know. Probably because I scored it incorrectly. But we're going to keep this. We're not going to get rid of this. We're just going to cut that excess off. And I'm not going to be too sad about it. Alright. So now it's even, right? And then I will brayer that down. Let me go ahead and re-ink up this. And hopefully whoever received this knows that I have created this out of love. And this is the first thing that I've created to help me get through my crafting block. And on the inside, even though it's a note card, I am going to stamp it because you all know that I love stamping things, right? I love stamps. That could be my new YouTube channel name, right? I love stamps. I'm not changing my name though. Don't worry. I was just saying that would be a cool name. I love stamps. Somebody already has the name though, probably. So I'm going to try and make this a little bit better. 2.5 is right there. And I'm folding this over. And whenever I do participate in any type of swap or thing that has rules, I like to adhere to the rules properly. And you see it's a little bit off right there. And so I'm just going to take the trimmer and trim it. I need to go back into the comments and find the wonderful lady that told me to cut from the middle and not go edge to edge, because that is genius. It is a lot of people on YouTube that I tell you that watch videos, make videos that give you all kinds of amazing craft gems, and that's definitely a craft gem that I probably will not forget anytime soon. So we have created some note cards, but you know it's off. It is truly off. That first one I did is just off. I probably didn't have the paper all the way up to the thing like I should have. I'm going to blame it on me and not the cutting board, because sometimes, you know, we give our craft tools a bad name and it's really the crafter. And in my case, anything is possible. I really wanted to make some rosettes today, but it's still off a little bit. Let me pull out these scissors. I sat down to make the rosettes, right? And then I realized that I did not have the straws. No big deal. That's going to drive me crazy. No big deal, honestly. But then I said, I'm just going to try and make some things, because the drawing is going to be done on the 1st of October, our swap partners. And since we already have what we need to create, I just figured I could just go ahead and create everything. And if she tells me, she or he tells me, oh, I don't like witches, but it's Halloween. It's a Halloween swap. So pretty much everything goes when it's Halloween themed and Halloween related, right? Is that just me being weird? I'm not going to fold this over because I'm going to use it again. And you all know that I can't say that I'm like the stamp queen of anything, but I love stamps. I just love them so much. So what I think I am going to try and do is put this little cat. I still have ink on it. I don't know why I still have ink on it. Probably because I didn't clean it properly. I've been in a, you know, I can't use my hand properly like I like to use it. I'm going to use this Yep, I haven't used this one. So I want to stamp him on there. I think that'd be cute, right? Because that's kind of elegant. Maybe I should put my little witch lady on there. Yeah, I'm gonna put the witch on there because she's sassy. This is probably the cutest stamp that I've ever used a coupon on, right? Because you know Michaels is on some. I'm gonna charge you $2 for the dollar stamps, and I'm gonna use archival ink today, just because I'm going to try and give it a chance. And I'm bringing the stamp to the ink as I was told to do. I think, is it stamp to ink? I don't remember. But you know what I've noticed? When I apply so much pressure down like that, you can see the imprint, which is crazy. You can see the print from that. So anyway, I have my Halloween stamps out still from the other day when I did my spectacular Halloween hop number 3, week 3. I hope everyone's went over and checked out all the ladies and seen what they have posted, and I don't think that looks too hot. But you know what? It does kind of look cute. It looks cute in a weird kind of way. But I'm going to just put that to the side because I'm only supposed to make one note card, okay? So since I'm only supposed to make one note card, this is a bonus, and I have been very stingy with my creations lately. And I do apologize to all of you for that. But the this is spoken for as well. It's going to be a surprise gift to the recipient. I was talking to one of my YouTube friends, and we were talking about crafting. A lot of crafters say that they can't craft just to craft. And I was like, well, I really can. Like, I think I could just bust out some craft stuff and craft. But this morning when I started, because you all know I usually craft in the morning time, so it's no big surprise that it's morning right now. But when I started crafting this morning, I ran into several roadblocks. Roadblocks meaning I just could not come to terms with creating something. So after I spoke to the wizard, of course, I got a little bit of clarification on some things, and now we're crafting. We are crafting. I pulled this out as well, and this came from the Raven's Head Manor as well, and I'm supposed to do 3 journaling cards. Now, I am going to just use this because the person can definitely write on these lines as well, but I'm going to stamp out some images on the back. What I was going to do, I'm going to share with you right now. I was going to use these cards, and these are these creepy Tim Holtz cards that I will be trying to cram in everybody's Halloween thing. And what I was going to do is just take some white cardstock paper and cover this side up and use those as the journaling cards, and then put a stamped image on there. Because you know what? Since I am not a journaler, I am not a true planner person, I've been getting rid of my lined cards, my lined stamps to make journal pages with, because I don't think properly sometimes, and that was one of the things I didn't think well through. And I didn't come over here with all the stuff that I needed. I just grabbed a handful of Halloween themed things and just sat down. Came over to my craft section in the living room and just sat down, because I told myself that I was going to get out of this creator's crafty slump. I have a problem, right? I think we all do what I'm about to tell you. Sometimes we take on other people's problems, we take on other people's woes and worries, and then it makes us have woes and worries, and I don't like that. I've always been a worrier, a woer, a person that's just been concerned and consumed by other people's misfortune. And so that's where I'm at today. I'm just kind of like, it sucks that this person is going through that. It sucks that this person is going through that, and I feel for them. So I got these 3 creepy cards out. Let me find the other 2 that I've just had in my hand and I moved. But I'm just going to try and work through that. And you know, with all of the craziness with this weather is, I don't know if it's the most undocumented, unprecedented thing that's going on, but it's definitely something that we should be concerned about. you know. And the thing is, which this what I'm about to say is going to sound really crazy. I think this is Recollections cardstock. Just so you all know, I think it is. It could be the brain freeze. It could be the paper from Tuesday Morning, but I can't be certain. I'm not sure. So I think these are cool. These are very cool in my opinion. These little cards for journaling. I mean, for the decoration, because they look creepy. You can't say they don't look creepy. And I'm going to pull out some wet glue. And I hope that this wet glue works for me the way I want it to work. And then I'm just going to take my paper trimmer. Actually, I'm not going to take wet glue. Well, it's kind of wet, but it's not. I'm going to take this. This stuff, you have to be very quick. And you know, I am semi-slow when it comes to this, but this stuff, you have to be fast because it dries so fast, in my opinion. But what I want to do is I'm going to put this down. And you know, Ruth Inkwell, who I reference a lot, so if you don't know who she is, you probably have went and looked her up. She, and I call her the Wizard in case you all didn't know, she has kind of been like my mentor. I don't know if I've ever told her that. I do tell her a lot of random crazy things, but mentor when it comes to crafting. I ask, and she's very patient with people, me in particular. I know that I've asked her the same question at least 1,000,000 times, at least. And she's never said, oh my God, write it down. Or, you know, you're getting on my nerves. She's never said anything like that. But she said that they have a tutorial for how to apply wet glue onto projects that won't give it that bubble effect. And I never looked it up because, you know, I have her as my reference. I can just say, can you tell me how to do it? Can you show it to me? But I think I'm going to stop being so lazy when it comes to those things and do more research of different things, because I do a lot of researching of different craft things. Like Teresa from Teresa Creation, she sent me some flowers. You know, we did that flower swap, and she has a tutorial, and she said, oh, that flower is just a running stitch. Let me see if I can show it to you without making a big mess. So what I am going to do is I did a video, I watched a video last night, and I'm going to watch probably about 5 or 6 videos, because what I tend to do is I'll watch a lot of various people doing the same thing with different techniques, and then I will craft lift their ideas, if you will, and make them my own. So this is the creepy one I'm talking about. And you know what? $2 is really not a good deal if you ask me for these cards. And I'll tell you why. Joanne Fabric and Michaels has these. I'm just going to try to maximize the use on this paper. So if you're wondering what I'm doing, I'm just trying to put all of these cards. I think it's 6 designs, either 5 designs. Maybe it's just 4. I thought it was 5 though. So it's this one design, and we're not concerned about the back of the pictures because that's not important. 2, 3, okay, 4, 5, 6. Can I count? I can count. I know I can count. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. I don't have that one. All right. 4, 5, and that one. I'm going to use this one because this one looks, yep. I killed them. I didn't kill them for real, but I painted their face with blood for my shadow box. It was actually just a little Dollar Tree paint. I took it to work and everybody was like, what is wrong with you? And I was like, it was for a craft thing. And no one really gets me. Oh, I put one back. Oh no. No one really gets me when I craft. You know, I think a lot of people are just like, you know, what's wrong with you? Why are you so into crafting? But for me, crafting definitely helps ease my mind when it won't stop when I can't talk to people about what's going on. And I think that for me, whenever I do have problems, I really don't want advice on how to get the problem fixed unless I ask for it. And then, you know, I'll call someone and say, hey, what would you suggest? And I'll tell you why. I have a best friend who I've known for 20 years, right? 20 years I've known this lady. And at the very beginning of our friendship, I had told her that I was really sad and I was down and I was out. And she told me I shouldn't be sad, I shouldn't be down, I shouldn't be out because I had a job, I had a place to live, and I had a car. And from that time on, I stopped telling people when I was sad. I stopped telling people when I was hurting mentally. Like physically, you know, you probably could see if you saw me walking, you'd be like, oh yeah, something's wrong with her. But I stopped telling her, and I stopped telling people. I thought I had a brayer close by, but you see I don't. So what I am going to do is take my handy dandy spatula. This came from Dollar General. And I'm going to put it back on this side because the other side I don't want to screw up because that is going to be the journaling side. And I'm just going to apply some pressure down because I don't want the recipient to receive my handmade journaling cards and then it falls apart and she's like, what in the world is going on with that? Anyway, so yeah, I just, you know, I choose not to tell people because in my opinion, and this is just me, this is how I thought at the age that when she told me this, and I still think that having a job is normal, right? Having a car is semi-normal. And I grew up in Texas, so we didn't have a vehicle all the time. We called the city bus. And in Texas, if you are a Texan, then you know, or if you live in Texas, in Houston especially, you know that public transportation, the city bus was like the best thing smoking. It was fairly inexpensive. And you see how this glue is coming apart? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a little bit of a cheating, and I won't send that one off to my swap partner. I may keep it. I'm going to try my bestest to apply this glue, which is more Elmer school glue, but it's pointed. And you know, wrinkly paper is probably okay for a Halloween themed journal card, but I just don't want wrinkly paper. I want her to receive it not wrinkly, and I should have put that there so this glue can slide down. So I put it too close to the edge and you can see it seeping out just a little bit right there, which is not really okay. So I'm just going to take my finger and slather it on the card a little bit and then press it down some more. I did not think I was going to be getting my fingers messy today, but here we are. Alas, here we are. I never come fully prepared when I come to this table. I have a few more days left here, and I think I told you already that I'm going to be putting all my craft stuff into one box, and everything else I'm going to box up. So if you could leave me a comment on this video and the videos upcoming, because I think I'm going to pack all of my stuff the last week in September. I'm just going to go ahead and do it, jump off the ledge, so to speak, and do that. And now what I'm going to do is I am going to pull out my scissors. I've been messing around with these scissors so much lately that I think I've screwed up a pair like this. This right here, you hear it's sticking. It shouldn't stick like that. Should not stick like that. These shouldn't stick. So I've messed up some scissors, yep. And I don't really think that those were the best quality scissors anyway. But see, these are Scotch, I believe. No, these are stainless steel. And these could have came from the Dollar Tree. And these things, I don't know, they're kind of heavy for Dollar Tree scissors. Are doing great. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get back in camera and cut these off. And what I will do once I cut these off, which I I guess it's kind of like a cheater method. I tend to just slimly run it through the trimmer, because I like that. I want to just, I think that I am very chatty today. This will probably be a 2-part video. I was going to go live, but I didn't. For me, going live, I don't think that I have things to discuss with you all, like on creation wise, unless I'm making something specific. And right now I'm making something specific, but I'm not 100% sure about it, because I've started this video 6 times. This is my 6th time recording this video. But after I spoke with the wizard, I had a little bit more self-assurance. I was more I don't know. I can't even think of the word. I was able to think through my problem, right? I was able to think through my crafter's issue. And that's why I always say I wish I had a friend close by that crafted with me. I don't have any craft friends anymore. I did have one craft friend, but we're not friends anymore. So, that's where I am with that. And this is going to be a tad bit on the crooked side because I put it down crooked. So, all right, there we go. And there we are. So this is going to be the front or back, and then this side will be the journal portion of it. And I am going to try not, I don't know if this is going to work out or not. Yep, it's not going to work out. So I'm going to have to hand cut these, which is fine. Let me just put the trimmer on the side. And I was thinking about, my trimmer and what I said earlier about, sometimes it's the crafter that makes it the problem. And I do believe that that is true when it comes to that, because we don't read instructions. Like, we really don't read the instructions on half our craft stuff when we get it, do we? Unless it's something you need to know about, because what we tend to do is just pull up YouTube and use YouTube as the reference. Or we'll ask someone, hey, do you know how to use this? Instead of just reading instructions. And that's what happened to me. See, I cut that a little bit crooked, but that's okay. Maybe I'll slice it through the trimmer once I cut all the edges off. And I do plan on using my corner rounder just to round that corner off a little bit better. But I did actually look up, I read the instructions on the project on the envelope punch board. I actually read the instructions. And then when I read the instructions, it did not work out for me. And then I watched some YouTube videos, and another lady said it wasn't working out for her. And then I was making like a rant video. Like, I was going crazy talking about how that company always made crooked products, blah, blah, blah. And then I reread the instructions, and I talked it over with the wizard, and I was showing her on the video, and guess what? It was operator error. So I tend to try to make sure that I have done everything that I need to do when it comes to that, because sometimes we can be the problem. I hope that makes sense, what I'm saying. But I will tell you that I do think that the punch board is off a little bit. I think it's off a sliver of a measurement. And a lot of other crafters have said the same thing. And so, like, you all saw me do my paper, and I probably put the paper in crooked this morning. And I even told you as soon as I finished, I was like, yep, that's crooked. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this 1 inch. I love this one. Like, this is probably, of all my little punches, one of my favorite. One of my favorite. It's the corner rounder. I don't know why it's my favorite. I don't know what I've done to associate with a paper punch to say that that's my favorite punch, but I just love it. Look, I mean, it makes your product, your creation look so finished, so finished. And I will tell you all that I am going to start using my laminator. I would have to say Berry Crafty Bonet is the reason why. So is some more ladies. But she posted up some cute little things on her Instagram page. And I've seen a lot of ladies making, what are those things called that everyone's going crazy over right now? Traveler's notebooks. And so I have a lot of paper, right, that I have. And I feel like I can make some things with them, which I think, you know, of course I can't. All of a sudden I've got Stroke of Genius Crafters, Crafty Creations, and I am on my way to moving. So that's where we are with that. I have to wait it out. And I've been discussing this with my big roommate, and we've been talking about storage and craft stuff, and it's a mess. You know, it's just a mess, and I don't want my craft room to look like it does now, which is, if you've seen people's, I'll say it like they say it on those little memes. I'm one paper pad away from an episode of Hoarders. I'm one skein of yarn from an episode of Hoarders. I'm one fabric cut from an episode of Hoarders. And I was telling him last night, I was like, I just have to use my stuff. Like, I have to just get in there and use it and stop buying all the Michael's Hot Buy paper pads. But I'll tell you, I probably won't stop buying the Hot Buy paper pads. But I went to Walmart yesterday, and I will tell you, I was really, really, really good at not losing my mind. I cut this one a little bit too close. That's okay. It's flush. I love how this is coming out. I hope that the recipient will as well. I'm definitely going to ask the wizard what she thinks of it. Since I've rounded the corners, it makes it look like the card is off, but it's really not off. It's just that those